Hello and welcome to the Team Talk here on Hibs TV. The games come thick and fast, and we've got another cracker for you this evening as Hibs take on Rangers under the lights at Easter Road. Kickoff is from 7:45 p.m. Yes, hello, welcome to the Team Talk here on Hibs TV. My name is Gavin Rittoo, and well, there's never a dull moment in Scottish football. And we've got a cracking set of fixtures lined up this evening as Hibs take on Rangers live here from Easter Road. Joining me to preview this one is none other than Hibs legend in every sense of the word, Lewis Stevenson. Louis, how are you?
Good, thank you for having me.
It's always great to have you back. You seem to be doing a lot more kind of punditry and stuff. I've seen you propping up a bit.
I've been roped into a few things recently, but something I would never thought I'd be into 15 years ago. So it's I'm enjoying it. But great to be back here. I've been keeping up to date with highlight shows and YouTube videos of how Hibs are getting on. So it's nice to actually be back in the flesh and back at Easter Road, which is looking magnificent.
It is looking stunning this evening, and it's obviously great to have you back. But before we go any further, you've given so much to the club, 600 appearances and 10 goals. And as we're playing Rangers this evening, I thought it was only fitting that we saw one of those 10 goals back, the one at Rangers, of course, at Ibrox. What a goal this was. Can you talk us through it from your perspective?
I think I've seen the goal plenty of times, trust me, but not like you forget it actually came from a Rangers free kick. You know, the goalie had the ball, threw it out, and it's a great team goal as well, not just a decent finisher on my part. But we had some good ding-dongs with Rangers that year, obviously both in the Championship for a few years, and we had a really heated rivalry, but I really enjoyed my time under Alan Stubbs. It was really free-flowing. He gave us license to go forward, as you see, a left back getting into the box, and I think that was Big Daz McGregor I shrugged off as well, so I didn't let him forget that one.
I mean, what a finish. And it was a great counter-attack, but you don't kind of cross the halfway line until quite later on in the move, and you play a brilliant 1-2.
Yeah.
What were you thinking when you see that ball coming over your shoulder and swinging the left foot at it?
I've not been in that position many times, but it's a great ball by Five. Actually, I had 5 on at the weekend as well. So, look, he's a top player. You know, if you make a good run, he'll try and find you. And I'll let him say it's the perfect pass. I just had to swing a leg and my plate went in.
Is that the best goal you'd say you've scored for Hibs or in your career? Because I know you scored a cracker for Wraith last season, I think it was. Or was it earlier this year?
Probably for Wraith. Because it was against Rangers as well, and the rivalry we had, it was good. But I actually scored a decent one in Europe in the UEFA in Europa League. It was whatever it is now. I scored a few trundles as well. I scored my right foot against Rangers here as well.
You did,
so
yeah. I was just going to.
That's probably no one for the highlight reel, so you didn't need to show that one.
Well, I was looking back at that one as well, and I think it's the only goal you scored for Hibs anyway with your right foot. It was at this end, yeah.
I didn't make a lot of passes with my right foot either, so to score a goal with my right foot is something special.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about today then. You mentioned at the start of the show that you've been watching Hibs from afar. What have you made to the start to the campaign?
I've been very impressed. Obviously, you get the highs for the European football, and I've been there myself. It's tough to get going. It takes a lot out of you physically and mentally, which people sometimes forget. So it's sort of a slow start, but it wasn't a bad start by any means. Only to have one league defeat has been unbelievable. So there's a lot of games that they drew that they could have won, and maybe vice versa as well. But that's the way football goes. But to get 2 wins after the derby defeat is showing that the team's going in the right direction. And I think looking at the squad is, the manager's got headaches all over. There's competition in places all over, and it's a good headache to have.
Yeah, you mentioned that the European football. It seems like we're all already halfway through the season just from how many games we played in Europe and then games in the cup and all that kind of stuff. But mentally, does that take a toll on the players? I think right now we've won 2 in a row and we've kind of bounced back from it. But does that take a kind of physical and mental toll on the players?
There's a lot of travelling. You said the physical side, obviously getting up for games. The mental side, the squad rotations. It's a totally different type of football as well. You're playing Midtjylland or teams that play different styles of football. So there's a lot to take in mentally, tactically as well. And you come back here and there's a few dog fights, a few long ball kind of games. So it's hard. I hold my hats off to the players because they didn't disgrace themselves. They never pulled the tired card out, and they never made any excuses. So they're still in the mix. To be third is unbelievable at this stage of the season. So no complaining, but I'm sure the managers got them and there's still a lot to do.
Yeah, definitely. Well, and the momentum certainly kind of pulled back in our favour. David Gray's side made it back-to-back wins in the William Hill Premiership after a great win away on the road at Pittodrie against Aberdeen. Here's a reminder of the highlights from that one.
Ball to Josh Mulligan, driving to the edge of the 18-yard box, gets the shot away just wide. Carlson looks for the shooting opportunity, gets the shot away. Salinger down smartly to his right hand side. It's optimistic from Stuart Armstrong there. Clegy is in, chance here, he finishes. Hibs have the lead. Aberdeen furious they didn't get the free kick. I thought Stuart Armstrong slipped personally.
I didn't think it was a foul, but one thing I will say that I said earlier, Josh Mulligan, perfect pass.
Yep.
Right into Clege's stride.
Yep.
He takes a fantastic first touch, by the way, and gets in front.
By Hanley, Clegy is in behind. Chance for Thibault Clegy. He's got another chance. Still chance here for Hibs. Kieran Bowie. Well, that's some defending by area. Support from Clarkson. Fancies the shot. Oh, that's a great stop by Raphael Salinger, right down low to his bottom. Nicky Cadden. Clege's done well. Finds Kieran Bowie. Can he roll it into the path? He can. Chance here for Mulligan. Too high. It's another great chance back.
This is the opportunities that Hibs want to see.
Great ball forward for Martin Boyle. Drives into the penalty area. Can Boyle finish? Cuts it back. Chance here. Off the post from Josh Campbell. Charging run from Nicky Cadden. Martin Boyle inside the area. Got a chance here. Oh, and he lifts it just a foot too high. Hibs get it clear.
Counter-attacks on again.
Yep. It is now. Martin Boyle needs to stay onside. Ellie Ewan has it. He's done well, Threads. Oh, he charges through himself, Ellie Ewan. Can he finish? This time, surely. He can indeed. Hibs have the second. Ellie Ewan charging half the length of the pitch to finish. In some style, to be fair. On the pitch about 4 or 5 minutes and showing some of his teammates how to stick the ball in the net.
Do you know what a change of pace as well, and great feet from him as well, and,
yep.
and just that little bit.
Needed to be. Finally, Martin Boyle's inside the box. What can he do? Cuts it across. It's a third for Hibs. Josh Campbell. Martin Boyle cuts the ball across the 6-yard line. Josh
before the game, to bring Martin Boyle on in second half, so he's not tired against anybody in the league. I think that you would give him. Yeah, and you know what? It'll be interesting.
Offside flag went up. It is offside. From today's game, it was Hibs were a wee bit sort of lax in front of goal, and it just took that finish from Ellie Ewan to. Aberdeen have got one back. They've got one back right at the death. It was comedy cuts defending by for Aberdeen. The full-time whistle goes. It finishes Aberdeen 1, Hibs 2.
Yes, 2-1 it finished at Pittodrie. A great win on the road. Pittodrie is a very tough place to go and get a result. And on another day, I think that game, just having looked at the highlights here, it probably could have ended 5-2 or something like that.
2-1 definitely flattered Aberdeen. I thought it was a total perfect away performance, to be honest. Great with the ball. I thought they looked a lot more free-flowing maybe than Hibs have in recent weeks, and as you said, they could have scored 4 or 5. Got a bit tight near the end, probably too tight to call, but off the ball as well, I thought there was a stark difference between Hibs looked so organised, they looked well drilled, while Aberdeen looked so disjointed, and that was a major part of the game, and a very comfortable 2-1 win for Hibs. Yeah,
what was it that impressed you so much about the performance? Because you said, 2-1 does flatter Aberdeen. Was it just the type of their away performance? Because Pittodrie is a tough place to go, you know that from your career, and I think in years gone by we've struggled to get a result there, but more recently we seem to be going up there and with the belief that we can win quite easily.
The last few years we've probably picked up as many wins as we had the previous 10 years, so it's slightly slowly changing, and as I said, the performance had a bit of everything. I think Hibs were comfortable not having the ball at times and looked to threaten the counter attack. I thought the substitutes made a big difference. Brought a lot of energy as well and looked a threat. So it looked a harmonious Hibs team that everyone was pulling in the right direction, and they almost sensed blood. They probably sensed that Aberdeen not in a great place, and long may that continue. If that's going to be one of your contenders for third place or second place this season, then I think we showed that we're a lot better team. Yeah,
we had a lot of chances in the game, particularly in the second half. Would that have concerned the manager in the sense that we didn't take them and we could have been out of sight? And maybe looking at tonight as well, we might not get that number of chances, that many chances against Rangers. Would that be a concern to David Gray, that we're not taking our chances, or is it more of a positive that we are getting that many chances?
I think getting chances, that's what you kind of train for. You know, the hardest thing is putting the ball in the back of the net, and it's something I can't really give much expertise about. So it's look, I'm sure Dave and the management staff are more focused on the performance and, you know, creating chances. I'm sure there'll be games where they don't create as many chances, they might score 2 or 3 goals. So it's swings and roundabouts, and these things can change really quickly. But, you know, a great save by Salinger as well at 1-0, being so comfortable in the game. He had to save the one-on-one, which made a big difference in the end, and after that, Hibs looked comfortable. Yeah,
it comes down to big moments in the end. One player who was on the score sheet was Thibaut Clegier. He got his second goal in as many games. What have you made of him? Because he obviously came with a big pedigree, big pressure, being a club record signing, and he's taken a while to find his feet, but 2 goals in his last 2 games, and looks like a real talent for us.
Yeah, I think he got eased in. Came with a big price tag. There's probably a lot of pressure as well, but you know, he got eased in, substitute appearances, and built up minutes over the next few games. And the last 2 performances, I think he's been really good. Gives Hibs something different. He obviously looks really lively. Got an eye for goal, which is something perfect. And when strikers are scoring goals, the confidence grows and snowballs after that. Yeah,
definitely. Just seeing some of his highlights here. Got off the mark in the Premier Sports Cup against Livingston with that header, and then in the last kind of couple of weeks, he's really come into the fore. You can see the confidence is building around him. He's a player with real kind of talent but pace, and he looks like he really wants to stretch defences.
Yeah, look, a lot of the centre halves, especially in this league, are not wanting to play against a player like him. Small, dynamic, quick. You know, they want to fight sometimes, which sometimes Kieran Bowie needs to do for the team. It's a role he has to take up. But you know, with Bowie, Boyle, and Clegier, it's, you know, great competition all over the place, and it's tough. They're all on their toes, and they know they need to perform.
He's made 4 starts for Hibs and scored 3 goals in that time. How well has the manager managed his minutes and kind of got him up to speed with Scottish football? Because it can be tough. I know it might not be your area of expertise, as you played in Scotland your whole time, but to kind of come over from Luzerne and get up to speed with the game.
It's tough. You never know how a player's going to settle. There's a lot of things, you know, not just in the football department, but they need to settle in, their families to settle, they need to find a place to live. So there's a lot going on that fans maybe don't see, or pundits don't really see. So he seems to have settled down, and what was shown to me, that, you know, how happy it is that everyone's seen him doing well. You see the team buzzing for him. You know, even social media posts, they're all right behind him, and that's nice to see. He's obviously a popular boy, and I think that helps you settle in. Yeah, definitely. And you mentioned that the kind of competition for places. You mentioned Boyle and Bowie and Clegier, all 3 options that you can kind of have, and the gaffer can switch between them in terms of playing in that front too. But then you've got likes of Ellie Ewan came off the bench and scored. You got McGrath adding goals from midfield, Junior Hoylett, Nicky Cadden. It is a real headache to try and find what is that best kind of balance almost. Yeah, I know Ellie was struggling with an injury at the start of the season, and he's been kind of in and out, but I thought he was great when he came on. Again, he probably gives the team something different. He's got that pace obviously, but he can take players on one-on-one, he can drive with the ball, and you know, him and Hoylett add that part to the game, and it's another great option for Hibs.
Yeah, you would have played with Ellie quite a lot towards the end of your Hibs, your time here. What can he bring when you get the best version of him, you get him fully fit? Because his numbers speak for themselves. He can get goals, he can get assists. He's not a selfish player at all.
No, I think the first year with Lee Johnson, he was by far our best player. Our whole tactic seemed to be get the ball to Ellie. I was playing behind him, and he was a joy to play against. He can run in behind, he takes the ball in tight areas. So it's you just want him on song, you want him happy, you want him doing what you can do, and you know, his celebrations at the end looked like he was happy. So hopefully we'll see more of that tonight.
Yeah, definitely. And just on that competition for places, from a player's point of view and from a dressing room point of view, will they be disgruntled, like someone that maybe aren't getting as much game time, or how does it work in terms of, you know, the ones who aren't playing and the ones who are, the one they're obviously wanting to make an impact when they do come on, but it is a real headache for David Gray.
No, it's tough. It's a good headache to have, and I think the players understand that. There'll be different players that suit different games. I'd imagine there'll be a few changes tonight, especially with the game coming so quick, but you never know, he might play the exact same team because the performance is so good. So we'll see what happens. But as I said, it's the strongest squad I've seen at Hibs since 20 years or something for me. I think it's got a real good spine to it. I think they've been defending well, especially in recent weeks, and competitions all over the place. So I think the team's looking good, and hopefully can get a few more wins.
Yeah, definitely. And we'll continue our countdown to kick off a little bit later on. But it's now time for a quick break, and we'll be back in a couple of minutes.
Shopping, working, and relaxing online can attract various digital threats. To improve your protection against them, just turn on NordVPN. This cybersecurity app will block web trackers and malware-infected sites. It will also encrypt your internet traffic without losing a smooth connection. Get NordVPN now. NordVPN, cybersecurity built for every day.
Hello and welcome back to the Team Talk Live here on Hibs TV. Before we go any further, it's time to get the pre-match thoughts from David Gray, and he has been speaking to Adam Tomlinson.
Dave, we've got obviously Rangers on Wednesday evening, back-to-back wins going into that game. Just tell us what the feeling's like at HTC at the moment.
As you can imagine, it's as good as it can be off the back of two very good results. Performance level being very high as well, and you can't really ask for any more than that going into a really good game at home. We're off the back of a win, and a new manager, so we've got that to contend with. But at home at Easter Road, I expect it to be a fantastic atmosphere and a brilliant game to be involved in.
Yeah, you mentioned obviously them having a managerial change. Danny Roll, obviously now at the helm for them. What do you expect from them? How different do you think they'll be from what we've faced this year?
Well, they're still the same players, and he's not had a lot of time to change a lot, probably, with time on the grass. I think this is probably their third game in 6 days as well, I think, actually. So they haven't had a lot of time. They have had a couple of different changes in shape, so it's something we need to be ready for, that they could do anything. My biggest challenge and what I've been looking towards is our level of performance and maintaining that, and what we've done already this season, and where we can get better, I think, and even looking at the last game against them, right, from what did we learn, where can we be better, and we know when we let ourselves down the last time, so that's the challenge to the players again, to make sure that, you know, we try and get a better result, because we never got what we wanted in the last game against them. They're always good games. It'll be a difficult one, because whatever side they play or whatever shape they play, they're going to be a difficult opposition, but as I've said, we're going into the game in the best possible frame of mind. The players are in a good place, the confidence levels are high, and I think it's a great game to be involved in.
Yeah, how important will the atmosphere be at Easter Road as well?
It always is huge. I think they're always great games, especially night games as well. You know, being under the lights, what that does and what it adds to it. So, no, everything's, as I've already said, they're geared up for what should be an exciting night at Easter Road, as long as we can get the right result.
In terms of team news then, how are we looking? Obviously Warren O'Hora came off with a slight knock at the weekend. Yeah,
so he hurt his shoulder, so thankfully that's came back as nothing too significant just now. It is going to be touch and go though, because it is something that, you know, you risk falling on it again and what that looks like. So he's trained this morning, strapped up to see how that felt. Obviously didn't do a lot because it's the day before the game, so we'll just manage that one and see how we go. We'll give him right up to the very end to decide what we do on that one. We're not going to take a risk, clearly, because we don't want that to become a significant injury, which there's always risks involved, so we'll sit with the medical department and work out the best plan for that. everybody else, the only other one's Dylan Levitt. So Dylan Levitt missed the game, which was down to like a sickness at the time. It's actually escalated a little bit, so he's actually had his appendix out off the back of that, which is obviously not something we thought was going to happen, but it'll keep him out for the next, after the international break probably. But he's recovered well, and we'll just take him from there. But everybody else, apart from Joe Newell and Alessana, and sorry, Rudy Molotnikov as well, so he's someone that picked up an ankle injury playing in the European Youth League, which is a real blow for him. You know, he was getting back to where he needed to be off the back of an injury last season, but he just needs to stay positive, and hopefully he's getting all his injuries out at his career at the very start of his career, and he can really kick on after this, and I'm sure he will.
Yes, that was the pre-match thoughts from David Gray ahead of tonight's clash with Rangers. Louise, a man you know very well from your playing days. What have you made of David Gray's first almost, what are we now, probably 17, 18 months in charge of Hibs? It's been a roller coaster, but third place last year and third place currently in the league. It's been really positive.
No, really positive stuff. Obviously got off to a slow start. But if anyone had it under control, it was Dave. The way he handled himself through that tough period is, you know, I think people could have crumbled, but you know, he kept the same kind of. Watching his interviews, you wouldn't know if the team got beat or won. It was, I thought he handled the press, he handled the noise surrounding everything really, really well, and just delighted to see him doing so well. Obviously, I want Hibs to do well, but the vested interest of wanting Dave as a person to do well as well. So it's nice to see. Could
you always tell from when you played with him, and he was obviously your captain as well, that he was going to go into management?
I probably did. If there's people you could earmark early doors, Dave would definitely be one of them. You know, he dipped in being the caretaker manager a few times, and I thought he'd done really well in those periods as well. I think he could even got the manager job 2 managers earlier or whatever it was. But just delighted to doing so well, and you know, players I speak to as well, absolutely love him. The fans seem to be right behind him as well, so it's a great place to be for him, and I'm just so happy that he's getting the credit he deserves.
Yeah, definitely. He mentioned in his interview there that the mood is high at HTC after back-to-back wins, and you've been there. Obviously, it's amazing when you do string a couple of wins together, how much the kind of energy and the spirits just lift in and around the building and the club and the change room as well.
Yeah, you know, I think you still need to keep that level headedness. I think you can get too carried away after a few wins, and the same you can get too low after. So he'll know how to manage it. He's got great coaching staff as well, great dynamic, and with who he's got with Sammy, Liam, Eddie May, and anyone else?
No, you're good.
But it's a great combination, and experience and different characters as well, which I think need, and I'm sure the players are loving.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. And he touched upon Rangers there in that interview clip as well. Obviously under new management, under Danny Rowe, from a kind of coaching tactics perspective, is it difficult to play against an opposition when you don't really know what to expect when they are under that new management, or how does it work?
I'd imagine so. I think you need to look at his previous job and see how his team lined up then. I think they played a 3-5-2 at the weekend, which is probably something Rangers haven't done for years, so it'll be different. You never know what could happen. They could change it up. I'm sure Danny Rowe knows this is going to be a really tough game. For all the games he wanted in his second game in charge, I don't think he'd want to come to Easter Road. So I'm excited to see what's going to happen. I'm excited in our football terms, but excited for Hibs, and I'm pretty confident, man by man, and as a team that Hibs can go and get a good result tonight.
Yeah, definitely. What do you expect from Rangers? Do you expect them to go with that 3-5-2 again? Because they did look improved when they beat Kilmarnock in the weekend. I think it was their first league win at Ibrox, so there was signs of improvement there. Do you think you'll probably stick with the same system?
I think it was a decent performance against Kilmarnock, so I'd imagine so. The 3-5-2 against the 3-5-2's got us different problems. I think Kilmarnock play a 3-5-2 as well at some time, so look, it could be a game of chess. There'll be slight tactical tweaks that we might not see for the stand, but Rangers have got good players. They're probably going to get a bounce for the manager. I'm sure their fans will be right behind them as well, so it gives them a fresh start, but hopefully Hibs can do the job tonight.
Yeah, fingers crossed that we can. Right, not long until kick-off now. Time to get the pre-match shots from Chris Cadden, who was on media duties earlier this week.
Yeah, I think so. I think especially Easter Road under the lights as well makes on the telly, just sort of wee things add up to that, and Hibs Rangers is always going to be a big game. It always will be, and the atmosphere will with Electric tomorrow night, and yeah, and these are the sort of games that you come with the football club for, to be honest. And when you do get results, yeah, the feeling after is brilliant. So yeah, we'll be looking forward to it, and especially in front of our home fans, and we know we'll get right behind us.
Yeah, well, Chris Cadden was saying there that it's geared up to be a cracking game under the lights on Sky Sports as well as Hibs TV. Do those little bits just kind of add to the occasion as a player?
Yeah, it probably does with the new manager as well. Rangers seem to have a slight bounce, and Hibs are in a great place. I'm sure the fans will be right behind the boys, and it just seems nice to be back. I've not been here in a league game since the new lights have been done, and it just seems like a right buzz between the club. You know, there's a connection between the fans and the boys on the pitch, behind the scenes, the staff, and it just seems a good place. And look, the fans have been through a tough time in recent years, so hopefully they've got a lot to sing about this year. Yeah,
you played in this fixture, Hibs against Rangers, many times in your career. What is it that's so special about it?
I think it came for that, especially after the time in the Championship. We had a few ding-dongs in that league, and there's a bit of rivalry, obviously the cup final as well. How could I forget that? But since then, it's been there has been a bit more bitterness, a bit bigger rivalry than when I first started. So, like, Rangers have probably had the better results over the years, especially in recent years. But the times are slightly changing, and I genuinely think Hibs have got such a strong squad that they can not go into this game looking to draw it as maybe we did in previous years, but definitely go for it and go for the win. Yeah, definitely. And well, last time the teams met last season, there tended to be plenty of goals, 2 draws here at Easter Road. We beat them at Ibrox as well. But let's take a look at a reminder of the last time the two teams met in the league.
Maybe did cross the line, but play continues. Chance here, Keenan back! It's a level! One apiece! Cadden, another good delivery by Cadden. It's a beautiful one! It's there! It's goal number 99 for Martin Boyle! What a delivery from Nicky Cadden.
Yes, well, it's a fixture that tends to produce drama one way or another. Louis, are you expecting more drama this evening?
I'm sure there will be drama. Hopefully it's not caused by VAR or bad decisions like that. Hopefully it's to do with good football. I'm really excited, and buzzing to be back. I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, we saw the 2-2 in the last day of the season here at Easter Road. There was also 3-3 here at Easter Road. I'm pretty sure Rocky scored a late one in that, and we beat them at Ibrox as well. Will those kind of results give David Gray and the team confidence that we can get a really positive result tonight?
Yeah, I think so. Look, you have to remember that Rangers did put us out the cup this season, and it was probably one of their best performances under Russell Martin, so they might get confidence for that. But we've played against these players a lot. They've obviously got a few new additions to the squad, but the players will be well versed. They'll do all their tactical stuff, their all analysis, and they'll be ready to go.
Yeah, you mentioned that you've played in this fixture a fair few times. I'm going to put you on the spot here now. Do you know how many times you've played for Hibs against Rangers?
32?
40?
40?
40, and how many wins?
You spoiled it by saying that. I think there'll be a few, maybe 8?
10.
10?
10 wins, yeah.
No, it's not too bad.
It's not too bad. 10 wins and 8 draws. What was it about this fixture that you like playing in?
Look, the atmosphere was obviously great, but look, it's nice to see that cut the segregation as well. You know, I used to play here when I first started, and they would just give the whole Rangers stand that one. So shows how far the club's came on, that we don't need to sell it to the old firm, and get as many Hibs fans in as possible.
Yeah, and how do you see this one going tonight? If I could press you for a score prediction.
I'll go 2-0 Hibs. I think they'll start fast. Rangers will come into the game, but we'll catch them on the counter attack. 2-0
Hibs. Okay, Lewis Stevenson is going 2-0 Hibs. Let us know on X what your score predictions are going to be. Louis, I know you need to run up and you're doing a few more duties for us. This
lounges, good to see some other people, but I can't get roped into some work.
Yeah. Well, it's been brilliant to have you as a guest on the show. I'm sure we'll roll you out for plenty more throughout the season, but I'll leave you to go and head up to the lounges and join Cliff on the commentary duties. But thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
And that is, I'm afraid, that is all we've got time for this evening. Hibs against Rangers kicks off from 7:45 p.m. It's now time to pass you to our commentary team of Cliff Pike and Lewis Stevenson. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you all again very soon.